Thank you for coming to Thrive Through Thursday's Advice from Your Peers for Surviving and Thriving at Kenyon. We're going to break it down into 5 areas that your peers recommend you focus on. First is starting strong. Second is using strategies. Third is using your resources. 4 is focusing on your writing. And 5 is studying smart. So first, starting strong. Your peers recommend that you prioritize and organize. First, they say focus on what you can reasonably accomplish each day. Don't try to do everything, but try to do the things that are most important and also the things that are coming due soonest. They also recommend avoiding worrying and stressing. It can be really hard to do, and it can be really tough sometimes when you have a lot going on, but they recommend using the Cox Counseling Center for advice on how to avoid stressing out when you have a lot to do. Also, many of our tutors suggested establishing a routine where you're getting up and going to bed around the same times every day, at least during the week, and where you're eating at the same times every day, again, at least during the week. This keeps your mental and physical well-being in check, as well as avoiding stressing too much. Last, but probably most importantly, they say go to class and be on time. It shows your professor you care and that you are establishing mutual respect with them. Number 2, use some strategies. Try a few things to find out what works for you. Your peers are fans of using a planner to stay on top of assignments and due dates. You can use an electronic one like Google Calendar, or you can use a print one like the ones you can buy at the bookstore. We also have a video on planner advice. You could try different reading strategies when you have to get through a lot of material. Things like skimming, reading chapter summaries, and taking notes and just rereading your notes instead of the whole chapter are great pieces of advice. They also recommend breaking down larger tasks into smaller, more manageable ones. These can include things like just writing an introduction one day, and then some body paragraphs the next, and then a conclusion the third. They can include studying only certain things at each time, or they can include things like making sure that you start a presentation, but maybe that you don't finish it all in one go and you edit it later. They also recommend using your resources. There are lots of free available support systems on campus. Your peers mentioned that everyone is here to help, and many of the support systems came up more than once. So we've alphabetized the ones that came up most frequently, including Advising and Advisors, the Career Development Office, or CDO, Cox Health and Counseling, who are just giving out flu shots, by the way, the library, the Math and Science Skills Center, or MSSC, your professor's office hours, the registrar, SAS, or Student Accommodation and Support Services, and the Writing Center. Deans Hart Ruthenbeck and Dean Hawk also came up in our conversations. Focus on your writing. We're the writing college, but what does that actually mean? One of your peers said that simple writing is the best writing because it's the clearest and thus the most powerful in communicating your argument or analysis. Someone else said, perfect is the enemy of the good. Just turn it in and communicate with your professors about your concerns. Everyone here wants you to succeed, a theme that came up often. And your writing now is not the way it's always going to be. It will continue to evolve, sometimes in big ways, sometimes in small ones, and your professors can help with this evolution. Remember to study. And remember, there's more than one way to study. Reviewing material regularly throughout the semester can make midterms and finals easier. You can begin your own study guides early by typing your handwritten notes into a study guide after class, and by the time you have an exam, your study guide will already be completed. Some also recommended that if you're not a fan of typing, handwriting notes can also be helpful because it allows you to remember more, so you have to study less in the future. And then again, they sort of went back to that, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good here. Be okay with doing assignments imperfectly. It is more important to get things done and get good sleep. Some bonus advice. Don't just focus on academics. College is about more than the courses you take. One of our tutors recommended spending time alone. It's good to recharge, and it can be hard to do in such a small place, so prioritizing your alone time is important. Others recommended making sure to have fun. There are a lot of opportunities and events on and off campus, and it's important to explore them. Last, celebrate your wins. Anytime you hand something in, anytime you do well on an assignment or test, celebrate that. And as always, remember to be kind to yourself and to others. Thanks for listening. If you're looking for more advice, Thrive Through Thursday happens every Thursday. Classes are in session in the Writing Center during Common Hour. Take care.